Hello, my name is Bill and welcome to Mind Your Crypto. Bitcoin's paradox for today. This is something crazy that I've discovered and I want to share it with you. Before we begin, of course, I wish that you are having a fantastic weekend wherever you are. Let's go right now and see what is this Bitcoin's paradox. You can see every low of one cycles has never reached the high of the previous one. You can see here, for example, on 2019, the low never reached the 2014, okay? And you can see that the low of 2015 never reached the high of 2011. Every bullish cycle of Bitcoin, every low has never reached the high. However, as you will see in our percentage, you will see that every time Bitcoin dropped more than 80% of its all-time high. For example, here we had a 93%. Okay, from this top right here down to this bottom, we had a nice 87. Okay, here from this top to the bottom here, okay, we had an 84 to 85 around there. So we never had a 70% correction before the next bull cycle starts, and we go even higher, right? So eventually, what is the case right now and what is the paradox that we are facing? BTC against USD will drop if this is the top, okay, of the cycle, then BTC will drop more, at least according to the previous historical data, more than 80%. Which means it will go to 13.3 and so on, right? But at the end of the day, what we have seen before in the previous cycles is that we have never reached the high of here, for example, over a previous cycle, or we have never reached the lowest point, has never reached the high of the previous cycle, as we talked about, okay? So what is going to happen right now? Because we are going into a paradox where all the data suggests that Bitcoin can even go down from the 24K, while we cannot do that according to the previous historical data. So this is one of the Bitcoin's paradox right here. You have seen that in my videos I have said multiple times that for me a bullish cipher pattern might play out starting from the bottom on 1st March. You can see here going back to this high, then going back to the P point, C point, and then the D point has to retrace, okay, around the 0.786. So it has to retrace around here, okay. So the D point is around 17.6 to 17.7K. This number right here has to be 0.786 in order to have a cipher bullish pattern. So therefore, yeah, it includes that probably we are going down there. But the main question right there we have to ask ourselves is how can we do something and, of course, not do something that we have seen before, right? Eventually, this is something that bothers me a lot. And I have two things in my mind. Of course, that comes as a question, as an answer actually to my question. It is either we see something for the first time in the history of BTC, a correction, for example, towards 70.6K, which is lower than 80%. Okay, it is lower. It is around here, which is minus 74%. Okay, either we see that, and then we have a bull cycle, or we have done something wrong right here. We might, for example, stop at 28K or so, and the bullish cycle begins, and of course restarts. Sorry, okay. Because we won't be going down there. The bullish cycle restarts, then we go up all the way to above the 100K, and from the 100K and so on, 110, let's say for example, we drop then down more than 80%, but here you can see that even dropping down 81 can lead to 21K, right? We have to go even further up, there you go, to the 104K, and then we might be stopping at 24,000 Tether USD, let's say for example, right? But this would bring another paradox as well, that we are having such a correction between the cycles, but we have seen that here as well. Okay, the bullish cycle was about to begin, okay, but we had one more correction leading here to a new low, but it wasn't a lower low. You can see that, right? It was not a lower low. Here it was what we had actually, and what was the pattern. It was a nice, very nice bullish pennant, right? You can check it out, you can see it out, bullish pennant on the monthly frame after an uptrend. And of course, right now, this is one paradox that I'm facing and I cannot decide what BTC will do. For me personally, all the data goes into having a bloody summer. And from summer, from July, and after, we are going to have something terrible going on 2022 and on the market, right? Which means that probably we are going to face a further correction. Anyway, I want to stay right here into the price action of Bitcoin, and you will see that this is one of the last, actually, if not the last, bull trend lines that I have seen. And what we did is that we found a nice buying pressure around here. It is actually a little bit higher the line. You can see that I have not exactly gone through that. Okay, let's start with this one right there. It is a little bit higher. So there we go. Okay, so you can see that almost perfectly we have the bottom line connecting this bottom line right here on 20 July. And if we connect all these bottom lines, we are going up here. And what we are seeing here is that we found buying pressure upon this bottom trend line, which for the short term, it is good. Okay, so the next price targets of Bitcoin are more minimized. That means that we are getting lower targets and we need more to break right here. You can see that the best thing that Bitcoin can do right now is to go to the 44.8K. A more important resistance level right now has come into the 40.5K. All right. And of course, we have a lower one, which insists of around 39K. So right here, the most important resistance levels are these one. I think that we are going to face a nice buying pressure. And why is that? Because we found exactly a buying pressure upon the bottom trend line. So basically, for the next few hours to the next few days, yes, Monday is probably going to be bullish, right? Okay, Sunday and Saturday are kind of bearish days for crypto over these last few months. But at the end of the day, what I think is that we are going all the way higher. Okay, I feel like BTC will just go higher and eventually go all the way to the next target, which unfortunately have been lowered since our update, for example, to this bottom, right? You remember here I had different targets, and we had a fake out, and then we just went down, correcting so much until now we are ready to go up again. Okay, so this is one of the best paradoxes of all time. Okay, and you can see BTC dominance. I want to go there as well. You will see that BTC dominance is decreasing. We have a descending triangle, and probably we are going to go further down. That is good for altcoins, which will be going into a nice impulsive wave into the next weeks. Okay, so whenever we do that and whenever we just go down, we will lose the momentum right here for BTC, and then the altcoins dominance will start. If we reverse the chart, then this is the altcoins dominance. We have a nice ascending triangle. Of course, do not forget to join our monthly subscription, and see you soon with many more videos. Bye.